This week we're going to talk about the Cowboys defense, what my expectations for 2022 compared to last year. I just saw this stat. Like last year we were 21st in the league in defense. Like I'm talking about points per game, yards given up. Like what is happened? What happened? 21st? That's like almost close to last. Better yet, middle of the pack. But yet, we do have athletic guys on our defense. Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, Leighton Vander Esch. You can throw in defensive tackle, Davion Gillimore, Sam Williams. You know, stuff like that. I mean, 21st? Wow. But anyways, this show this is what we're going to talk about today. Review the Cowboys defense last year to expectations for this coming season. Last year, 21st, we gave up a bunch of points, man. 21 points per game. Unacceptable, man. Most of those games were yards. We gave up a bunch of yards when we were up by more than 10 points. Like, you know, our safeties were hard hitting. Cornerback, we had Trayvon, who had a streak of games where he had a pick per game. We had Anthony Brown, who was worried about penalties more than about playing the ball. I mean, we didn't have depth in our secondary. We were just focused on those four guys making an impact. Then again, but in the dime defense, you had Jordan Lewis. I love Jordan Lewis. I wish we can sign him to a long-term deal. I think he's the real slot corner. He's the real deal. But you look at the games last year, we gave up a bunch. My teams do not give up 20 points. We just can't. I mean, I'd rather give up 14 points per game. That to me is what you call a solidified defense. And we weren't hurt last year. The only injuries we had was Tank missing 8 games. Leighton, he's a hit or miss. But you know, what can you say? We had a suspected defense in 2021. They kept us in the game. We had pressure on the outside, but our secondary was terrible. We couldn't, we gave useless quarterbacks a higher passing rating. Kirk Cousins, Jimmy Garoppolo. Who else? There's a lot more. So I want my defense to be elite. It's not hard. You know, we're a 4-3 defense. Dan Quinn has put us there. 4 up front, 3 in the back. Let's work on the secondary. Let's start jamming the receivers at the line of scrimmage. Let's stop giving up center field. Let's stop doing all that, and let's be the best version of our defense. Our defense could lead us to championships. You know the saying. Every sport says defense wins championships. That's the saying. That's everywhere from middle school to the pros. Why do you think the Rams won last year? Defense, right? They had an all-star defense. From Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey. I mean, can't say anything bad about that. They may have an all-star defense this year. Who knows? We can be that defense, guys. We just gotta. Our secondary's gotta be consistent. Our front 7 has to follow through. Now I'm gonna talk about 3 key players on our defense that I really liked this past season. Number 1, Trayvon Diggs. He had to pick every game. He plays the ball. His weakness is not jamming the receivers at the line of scrimmage. I don't know if the NFL has changed the rule of you can't jam the receiver at the line of scrimmage more than 5 yards. Let me know. Let me know if the NFL has changed the rule on that. because I'm seeing all these receivers get a good break, and all of a sudden they're running deep. Interesting. But nonetheless, Trayvon, I trust him to play the ball, beat the receiver at his spot, and I want more jam of the line of scrimmage. Don't let these receivers get 4 or 5 yards in front of your face and catch the ball in front of your face. Heck, quarterbacks might not even throw there because of his reputation. 11 picks last year? Impressive. Number 2, Michael Parsons, the defensive player, the defense rookie of the year. Michael Parsons is the real deal, guys. What can you say about the guy? Like, the guy plays at every position in the field. You talk about playing on the line, playing back, playing cornerback. I mean, he's done it all, and he can lead us. He is just elite. No any defense out there can or offense can defend this guy. You talk about double team this guy, you're not going to double him. You're not going to triple him. He's going to get through you to the quarterback. This is how we got most of our pressures last year, especially in the NFC East, which I will talk about in just a second. Number 3, this guy's got to stay healthy. I know he's had a lot of shoulder issues, but he's a good player. And he's very valuable to our defense. It's Leighton Vander Esch. You're talking about the best tackle, form tackle in the league. These guys right now, young guys in the league, are tackling with one hand. I thought it was 2 hands. I thought it was 2 arms. Grab the guy, pull him down. Where is this one hand? I can grab him with one hand and all that stuff. Only the strong can do that. But Leighton, 2 hands, he's right there. He's right there on the ball. And I want him healthy this year. So whatever you got to do, man, to be healthier this year, you come on, you got to do it. Now, I put a star on this. I put a star on Tank, DeMarcus Lawrence, because he missed a bunch of games last year due to injury. Do we need him? Maybe. We need him. He can provide something to us. I want him on the field more than what they're having to use. I mean, I don't talk about age much because I know that, okay, well, he's getting up there. He shouldn't be on the field. I'm like, nah. Like I said, I don't talk about age. I talk about quality. What can he provide me on this team? I want the same Lawrence of 2017 where he had 14 and a half sacks. I want that guy, not the guy that was injury prone in 2021. He can still do that. But it's injuries. And someone has to step up. And which last year it was a big deal. We had a bunch of depth on the line, especially on the defensive line. So I don't know where you get this notion of we need a defensive tackle. I don't know where that comes from, because we have that depth. We can call guys from the practice squad. We can call guys off waivers. I mean, that's one position we don't need, is a defensive tackle. We have our defensive tackles. We have our ends. We have our linebackers. We have our secondary. I mean, they're not household names, the secondary is, but if they keep the penalties down in that area, we have a chance. We have a chance of dominating this division, if not the whole NFC. Now, I want to talk about, before I get to my expectations, I want to talk about Dan Quinn. Now, Dan Quinn, former coach of the Falcons, defensive coordinator for the Cowboys when Mike McCarthy took the job. Do I expect him to be a head coach sometime in the future again? Absolutely. Will it be this team? Maybe. I mean, who knows? Mike McCarthy might have a short leash this upcoming season if the team does not perform to his standards. Now, I told y'all last week, I'm not a fan of Sean Payton. I'm not a fan. I want quality coaches, and Dan Quinn is a quality coach. I'd rather hire that guy than go out there in the world and go out and hire Sean Payton automatically. Nah, I want Dan Quinn. Stay on the staff. If you got to pay him to be your highest assistant, Jerry, make that happen. You make everything else happen. I mean, you force us to go to a state and go watch your team play every season. I've never been, honestly. And I'll tell you the reason why in just a second. But Dan Quinn, making the highest paid assistant in the league. If he goes on to coach another team, let him. But I'll tell you the reason why. Because I want winners. I want consistency. I want to be in the postseason every single year. Not 1 year postseason, yay, everyone's excited. Every season. And our defense can lead us that. We sign our guys. We keep the right guys. That's what you call chemistry. Chemistry builds over time. And I'm going to turn it into a championship one day. Just one day. Now, my expectations for this upcoming season. Number one, health. Everybody's got to be healthy on the defense. That's from Leighton to Tank. Our defensive tackles, we got to be healthy. Whatever you got to do, whether it's running after practice or cutting this out, the health will get us a long way. It will, trust me. It got those other teams a long way, and that's why those teams were able to get to the postseason, because they were healthy. Number two, consistency. We just talked about it. We cannot make the postseason once a year. Next season we're out of it. Next season we're completely out of it. Then we got to start from scratch, and then then okay, we're going to make the playoff. We're going to be good in 2 to 3 years. Just ask the Rangers that. But consistency, that starts from the defense. What are you going to do, defense? Are you going to make that crucial stop? Are you going to cut down the penalties? Or is there going to be better communication in the secondary? All things are possible, but we got to make it happen. We got to stay consistent. That's number two. Number three, I just talked about it, communication in the secondary. I thought we were off last year in the secondary. I thought, we had a bunch of penalties over there, especially in the 49er playoff game. Embarrassing. 14 for 89 yards. It's not going to win you any games. And that's easy stuff. If you have to work on technique, work on it. If you have to communicate, I know every team has a secondary coach. Talk to the secondary coach. Y'all communicate to one another so that we can not have people cross our face, not people go deep on us. That can't happen. I think that is the major weakness of our defense. It's the secondary. Our hard-hitting guys are hard-hitting, but yet the communication lacks. We are lacking communication there. Like, if we can fix that, we can be up there as a top 10 defense, and that will honestly get us a long way than being in the first round in the postseason. We were there because of our offense. If we didn't have an offense, last season, then we could have been out of the postseason completely. And then number 4, use your depth. I know there's rotations, defense, the matchups are there. Use your depth. We were injured last year from Lawrence to Van Der Esch. There's some pretty good guys. We have depth this year. Last year we had depth. But, if one guy is not playing well, is hurt, use our depth. The next guy is next man up. Use the opportunity to impress the coach. Use this opportunity to stay on the field, for one. And, all the rest will play out. Now, last thing is, I want to talk about the NFC. Are we going to be NFC champs this upcoming season? We could be. I look at a division, our division's weak. And I looked at something yesterday. I looked at an article, right? They always make predictions about, the NFC East, the NFC South, the NFC West. No, they talked about the NFC East of where everyone's going to be this upcoming season. And I want to bring up I want to talk about 2 teams defensively that I'm not afraid of, someone else is not afraid of, but you may say, okay, well, they may have the best defense in the league, but yet they don't win the division. I'm going to give you one team. I'm going to give you the Eagles, which that's everybody's pick to win our division, from Skip Bayless to this article I read on MSN.com, because they had a great draft. They have depth. They have Darius Slay, who claims that he's the best corner in the league. He's a shutdown corner. I will give him, he is a shutdown corner, but it's debatable of if he's the best in the league. I can name you two or three more other corners better than Darius Slay. They're key players on the Eagles defense. Fletcher Cox. I'm not afraid of him. I'm not. What can he do for me? We can block him easily. Number 2, Brandon Graham. He plays on the line too. I'm not high on those guys. Those guys are great players, but I'm not high on them. We can get past them easily with our O-line. As long as our O-line stays consistent and healthy, we're there. Javon Hargrove. This is their defensive line, guys. Not high on him. Derek Burnett, not high on him either. That's their whole line. And I'm pretty sure they drafted a couple of defensive players, one from Georgia and Nakobe Dean. I'm like, okay, he could have been a Cowboy, but I would have gone the other way. But like I said, I'm not high on them. They have a lot more to improve on than what our defense has already improved. So they're saying, MSN is saying, okay, or Skip Bayless is saying, okay, the Eagles are going to win the division because of their roster. Let's play it out on the field and see who comes out on top. I don't play the numbers of it looks good on paper. Oh, that looks great. Their roster looks good on paper, but I want to see it on the field. I'm a visual person. Do I personally, on July the 12th, do I think the Eagles, not seeing a look at them, not seeing Jalen Hurts, not seeing the defense out there, do I think they can win the division right now? No, I'm not. I'm saying no right now. I'm saying the Cowboys right now. Maybe down the line, maybe we get through training camp, preseason, then we'll know who will come out on top. Expectations for the 2022 NFC East Now, one more team, the Commanders in Washington. I'm like, Commanders? Where do you get that name from? Anyways, but they are regarded one of the best line defensively in the league. But Chris Young, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, and Montez Sweat, those guys, they're just regular guys to me. Good players, but we can, like I said that it was the Eagles, we can block them. They don't raise a threat to me or the Cowboys. I just don't see it. I mean, good players, but can they win the NFC East with a defense like that? No. I mean, NFC East defense, you got to have pressure on the quarterback. I mean, the one quarterback that can handle pressure is Dak. He can step up in the pocket. He can run. I mean, run past their defense. I mean, do I think those teams have depth on their defense? Possibly. But it's not the depth that the Cowboys have. The Cowboys have depth from top to bottom. So, it's a hit or miss in this NFC East. I mean, give or take. And I want to know what you think. Who's going to win the NFC East in 2022? You may say the Cowboys. You may say the Eagles. You may say the Commanders. You may say the Giants, which we haven't even talked about the Giants because the Giants, they're just the Giants. So, I mean, none of their players impress me, except for Shaquan. None of them. So that's why we didn't get into the whole Giants conversation because, like I said, what are you going to entertain me with? Are you going to entertain me with a running back that's hurt every year? Are you going to entertain me with a quarterback that is inconsistent and is on his last year of his contract? Are you going to entertain me with a defense that no one has talked about? Entertain me, guys. Now, that's enough of the defense. Let's let the regular season. Let's let training camp play out. Then we go to the preseason, and then after the preseason, the season will start. So from there, we just gotta see what happens. Now, we're gonna take a break. Coming up next, I'm gonna tell you about the pros and cons about the WNBA and why you should watch. It's up next. It's Fishbowl Network.
No me importa lo que
Back to the Jamie Agenti Show. Now, you just heard that song, About Damn Time. That's what I want to say to the WNBA and all those people that run it. It's about damn time about what I'm going to say about it. The pros and cons of why you should watch. Number one, competitive. We see the competitive fire in these ladies. The ladies are going out there all game long, from shot selections to diving loose balls, grabbing the rebounds. Actually, the shot selections are pretty bad. They're shooting. I mean, I watched the game recently, right? The game that I watched, three shot. And I'm like, drive the ball in. If you miss 6 or 7 threes in a row, drive the ball in. You can't continue to outshoot teams that shoot threes and threes and threes. Come on, man. Change the game up. Make the game competitive. That's what I see in the pros. It's competitive nature. Number two, superstar showing leadership. And I'll give you one superstar, Candace Parker. If you see her in the mic telling players, where to go, encouraging them, that's the type of leadership we need from my veteran who's been around, who's seen the games, who's won a championship. 2 of them, actually. He's won an MVP. That's what I want to see. Not only from Candace Parker, but from anybody else that is playing in the WNBA. I want to see leadership. You are a star, a superstar. I want to see the leadership in there. Number 3, the attendance has to improve, guys. Fans, what are you doing this summer? What are you doing this summer? You have nothing else to do. You take a vacation for 1 week and you come back. I mean, you go to work. I mean, the fan base has to go up. I'm seeing about 1,000 to about 10,000 a game. The only time y'all show up is if your team is in the finals. Yes, there is a WNBA finals. Yes, it's been on for years, 25 years actually, the finals. So y'all have to show up, man. Support the ladies. I've been to a WNBA game. I've been to a Wings game. And the energy is electric. But you can go to a Mavericks game. When you're doing all that stuff, priorities, all that stuff, you have time to go to a Mavericks game. The Mavericks haven't won in 11 years. But yet they're able to pack the house. They're able to pack 17 to 20,000 people there. What about the Wings, Dallas Wings? I mean, they can't pack a full house there. I mean, it's the summer. I thought everybody gets out in the summer, not in the winter or the fall or sometimes in the spring. Show up, support the ladies. If you don't know the ladies, then do your research on them. I mean, do your research on Enrique. Do your research on Marina Mayberry. Do your research on Ariel Gray. Do your research on the coach, Vicki Johnson. Vicki Johnson played in that era. She played in that era in the late 90s to 2000 there. She played that era. She knows how to coach. Go support them. But then I do want to talk about TV viewership. It's my other point. It's gone up. So you talk about the games on ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN3, CBS Network, CBS, Facebook, Twitter, Prime Video. I mean, Facebook and Twitter, we can watch all day because it's free. But Prime Video, we can get that for $6 a month. in the league pass is like $25 a year, but yeah, you watch 3 months worth of games, so you're paying about $8 a month maybe for 3 months. Not worth the price. But if your games are not on ESPN or ESPN2 or ESPN3 every week, like the NBA, the NBA has games. The NBA has games on Wednesdays and Fridays, back to back, Wednesday and Friday. Sometimes they might throw a Monday game or a Saturday night game, which they recently started. Sunday. So the NBA is around. They can be on multiple platforms, but their league pass is years by season. So you pay maybe about $69 a month for all the games, watch the games, and sometimes on audio. Audio is like only $10 a month. But in the WNBA, the viewership has gone up TV-wise. The attendance has not. But, then again, I'm not in your life. I don't know what your priorities are as far as going to a game, supporting the ladies for a couple hours, cheering, all that stuff. Now, here's my favorite players that I want y'all. The second half of the season is about to start. Actually, it's going to start about around an hour and a half, because your Wings are playing the Seattle Storm at 2:00. Yes, a rare afternoon game, which is 12:00 there in Seattle. So I think that's what the NBA needs. More afternoon games. Yeah, more afternoon games in the NBA. Yeah, but then again, maybe they have a kid event type of deal. The NBA doesn't have kid events. The NBA will have kid events on the side. They don't invite over 2,000 kids to a game cheering. That's what the Dallas Wings did recently. That's what every team in the league has done. So I can give the WNBA credit on that. They're making it about the kids instead of about the adults. So it's on Facebook. Pull up Dallas Wings versus Seattle Storm. Watch the game and go from there. It's live. Go from there. Now, Candace Parker is number one. My favorite player of all time. From the time she was at Tennessee, from the time till now. Just love her game, man. She pisses me off sometimes with her shot selections, but her leadership, her determination, still in this league is beyond fabulous. So watch her. Second half of the season, watch her. Number two, Skylar Diggins-Smith. Man, that woman is full of passion. From Notre Dame to right now, everywhere she's on the court, diving for loose balls, taking great shots, and actually she's leading that team. Minus Brittany Griner, she's leading that team to the postseason. We hope they go to the postseason on her leadership and guidance. But then again, I read an article that said Phoenix is trying to trade her. For what? Phoenix, you have nothing to lose. Keep her. She might take you. She's the only player on your team that's leading you. We can't trust it at Taurasi. We can't trust a Sophie Cunningham. Skylar Diggins, we can trust. She'll lead us. Number three, Sabrina Ionescu. I thought she was going to be way over her head. No, she's great. She's a great player. I love her. Determination is what I see in her. Do I think she's going to leave the Liberty to the postseason? Probably not. It's probably going to be, seasons where she's going to probably average 20 points a game and 10 assists and 10 rebounds. She's going to get a triple-double every other game. And you hope that team wins. So Sabrina Ionescu is one of my favorites. I just love her game. I love how she's able to mix it up, playing point guard, shooting guard, all that stuff. And I'm not worried about her shot selection because she takes good shots. Number 4, Marina Mayberry, the Pat Bev of the WNBA. Yes, the one person that gets on your ear, the one person that just you don't want to hear from them. That's Marina Mayberry. She plays for the Dallas Wing. I mean, hard-nosed defender, doesn't give a ish about what goes on. Can lead a team. You can have that type of presence on your team. Number 5, and these 2 people are retiring. Actually, one person had a dunk in the All-Star game. If you go back and watch the YouTube clip of Sylvia Fowles dunking on the fast break, you'll be amazed. That's a dunk. Sue Bird and Sylvia Fowles. Let me talk about Sylvia Fowles for a second. Sylvia Fowles is one of the toughest players in the league. No one can move her. No one's going to back her down. But just the rebounding, like you can imagine a younger Dwight Howard in her, but yet she's consistent in her game. And let me tell you something about that dunk. Okay, that's a dunk, ladies. A dunk doesn't mean you dunk on the fast break and you just throw it in. That's not a dunk. A dunk is you jump high, hit the rim, put it in. That's a dunk, ladies. Okay? That's what Sylvia Fowles did in the All-Star game on Sunday, if you watched. Pretty sure you didn't watch, but I wasn't there. Sue Bird. Okay, I've been watching this woman since 2002, and I've been amazed by her. A real point guard in the WNBA. A real one. Doesn't score a lot of points, but she can get the ball down the court and the Chris Paul of the WNBA just assists, but doesn't take shots when she needs to, but she's only a passer, guys. And she's a great player. I do see coaching in her future, but then again, she's going to stay retired. And this is her last year, and I hate to say that this is her last year because I want to see more of that type of game from other players that will follow her, that could follow her. Now, since I talked about the good stuff, let's talk about the bad stuff, the cons of the WNBA, of why maybe you don't want to watch. Okay, there needs to be more teams. There's 12. 16, they need to increase it to 16. Or at least 14 for better competition. Every day I'm seeing names. I'm seeing names get released. Names that I know of in college. Oh, I seen this girl play. Why did they release her? Just why? I just want to ask these teams, why do you release these players, knowing that you can put them on other teams, but yet that franchise may not have a team in the future? The commissioner just said, we're trying to build teams, but it will take us 3 years to do it. Maybe in 2025 we'll have 16 teams. Maybe in 2025 we'll stay at 12. Commissioner, there's 50 states. You could put 4 or 6 more teams at every state. For example, you can have another team in Texas. You can have another team in Austin. You got another team in Houston. You got another team in San Antonio. You had a team in San Antonio in Houston back in the day. When you first start, when the WNBA started, you had the Houston Comets and the San Antonio Silver Stars, which I don't know why you call yourself the Silver Stars, but anyways. But yes, there was San Antonio Silver Stars back in the day. California, you could put another team in there. New York. You could put a team in Louisiana. You could put a team in Oklahoma. You could put a team in Missouri, Florida. I don't think the WNBA has any teams in Florida. That's weird. But yet the NBA has 2. Why do you have 2 NBA teams in Florida, but yet you have none in the WNBA? You had the Miami Soul, but then again, that's back in the day. Y'all need to get it together and put 4 more teams out there. Make it better for competition. And make sure that when you release a player, that they'll have a job the next day. Number 2, roster expansion. Like I said, roster expansion needs to increase. It was 12. We need to make it 14. The NBA has 15. You know, I'm seeing teams and teams and teams. You know, their depth is getting thinner. From 8 players to 10 players to 12. Y'all need to increase your roster to 14 at least. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the coaches. And this is part of there's one pro. Actually, there's 2 pros and 1 con. Nicole Quinn is the Seattle Storm coach, a defensive-minded coach. You see the reason why other opponents' percentages are going down, because she preaches defense. Nicole Quinn played in the WNBA for 12 seasons. Look her up. She was there. She played. Another one was Becky Hammon. Becky Hammon played. She spent 8 seasons as an assistant in San Antonio, and another 10 in the league, in the WNBA. I mean, she's a Hall of Famer, and now she's the coaches of the Las Vegas Aces, which they're the top in their conference and the top of the whole WNBA. The woman can coach. Like I said, she came from the pop tree. Like X's and O's, I go to Becky Hammon. Becky Hammon is an offensive-minded coach. This is why players like Kelsey Plum has improved her scoring percentage. That's why Asia Wilson has taken more control of her game. So, you know, are they my favorites to win the championship? I'm not sure. But when it comes to the WNBA, it's always wide open. Now, I want to talk about one coach that I don't like. Vanessa Nygaard. She coaches in Phoenix Mercury. She played for 4 teams. You cannot find one highlight video of her of playing basketball. The other 2 you can, but Vanessa Nygaard, no, she's not my favorite. Whenever you talk about a player that is supposed to be on an all-star team, but yet they didn't make an all-star team, but your teammate Skylar Diggins did, I mean, that's nonsense. Like, you gotta talk about your all-star, what they meant to your team. That's why they're representing you in the all-star. They're representing your team in the all-star game, which they did, which she didn't. She only talked about Taurasi because Taurasi is on her last legs of her career. Like I said, I have no ill will towards Taurasi. I love her, but she did not make your all-star team. Skylar Diggins-Smith did. And for her to not talk about that, it's BS in my mind. And that's why Skylar called her a clown on Twitter. Because that's what clowns do. They just ignore their potential all-star. But I just feel like she doesn't know what she's doing. You know, they hired her in January instead of just trying to hire her and when the offseason was started. So I'm not a big fan of Nygaard. I'm just not. But anyways, but the games. Now, I saw this yesterday. The games are 36 games in a season. We need to get that to 40. By next season, it's going to be at 40, according to the commissioner. She also said 44. And I'm like, okay, That's progress because the NBA has 82 games, the NFL has 17, the MLB has 162. I mean, you talk about the soccer league, the women's soccer league, they have 12. And they have multiple platforms. So, Commissioner, you got to go on your word. Because I know there's going to be distractions. Last year, you had the Olympics. This year, there's not really any distraction. I mean, the only thing is world basketball. That's it. Next year, you don't. Next year, she said, "Oh well, there's no distractions." So you could play 40 games. You could find a way to play 40 games in a season, even with those distractions. You can't play 40 games one season, then 36 the next, then 32 the next season, all that stuff. Stay at 40 games. You can find a way. That's half of the NBA, almost half of the NBA season. You can play 40 games. If you have to extend it by a few weeks when the Olympics are done, do that. But 40 games is 40 games. Okay? Next season, I want to see it. Other fans want to see it. Now, okay? Now, we need more games on TV, guys. I can't stress you enough. The NBA has, their own channel on the NBA TV. I'm pretty sure that, you watch games on the WNBA, on NBA TV, all that stuff. But we need more games on TV, guys. More of them on TV, please. What about Lifetime? Lifetime Oxygen. Yeah, those are real channels. Channels I grew up watching back in WNBA games on that channel back in the day. Put those channels on TV. I want to see more games, more WNBA games on TV. Now, do I think this is going to work? We hope. We hope so. Now, before I leave, I want to talk about Brittany Griner for a second, okay? Now, I'm not taking a direct shot at Brittany Griner like everyone else has. Well, it's her fault. Nope. Let me tell you, we elected these officials. We voted for them in office. Why is it that they're taking their attention off the situation in Russia? I know everything else is important now, but we have an all-star in Russia, guys. Wake up. Get your ass to Russia and get her out. I mean, that's terrifying to see a 6'9" WNBA player, the product of the WNBA, stay in Russia for over 140 days. Her team is suffering. I'm suffering. The WNBA is suffering. Fans of the WNBA are suffering because she has not come home. And elected officials, we elect you to do the job. Biden. You can't say, oh, well, we're going to try to get her home. Nah. Go there, negotiate something, and get her home. Right now. She shouldn't spend one more day in that Russian prison. I don't know how it's like in there, but my heart goes out for her and her family, man, and her friends. Not seeing the personality, not seeing her in your presence daily. It's ridiculous that she's got to stay in that cell for longer and longer. Days that goes by, hours have gone by, but yet these elected officials do nothing about it. They worry about themselves. They worry about the stupidest nonsense that we can control it. Just go to Russia, get her out. I'm pleading. Get Brittany Griner home right now. And this is going to be the message for now on. I'm going to end my show with Free Britney. Free Britney. I'm not talking about Britney. No, let's not get it twisted. Free Britney. Not Britney Spears, Griner. Now, that's it for today. Now, next week, we're going to talk about we're going to recap the Summer League of how, you know, there's I'm going to give you some pros and cons in that Summer League this year. And then I'm going to talk about my frustration in 5-on-5 basketball, how it needs to improve. But other than that, y'all have a good day. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. All right, take care. It's Fishbowl Radio.